Hello and welcome. Today we're in the tier 10 Japanese supercruiser, the Yoshino. And I wanted to bring her up as a slight comparison to what the Siegfried was that I posted a video of recently. Here you can see how another supercruiser performed. Now I understand that Yoshino is tier 10, so it's not quite the same comparison because Siegfried is tier 9. However, I realized that I haven't actually made a video of the Yoshino, so I went with her. Now, she is supposed to fulfill a somewhat similar role as the Siegfried is, or I suppose it's the other way around, but I would say that Yoshino is just better. Even if you would take Azuma, I suppose, the tier 9 Japanese supercruiser, I would say she's better too, and it's all down to the firepower. Because in most other aspects they're very similar. They have better than heavy cruiser armor, but just not quite as good as battleship armor. Although I would say that Siegfried's armor is probably better than Yoshino's. They also have torpedoes, except Yoshino's has 20-kilometer torpedoes, which is quite fun. Whereas Siegfried's are 8, but they're still very useful. And they have heals and defensive fires and all these nice things that you would expect on a cruiser. But Yoshino has an extra gun on every turret, so that's 3 extra guns actually, 50% more. She doesn't have quite the same gun caliber, but her HE is better in my opinion. Although the AP is probably worse. It's kind of hard to tell without extensive testing. And by extensive I mean like trying it really hard to figure out which one is better. And she isn't quite as accurate as Yoshino or Siegfried is, I think. But she has a 16-ish second reload, or 17. Compared to the 22 or 23 you get on the Siegfried after you get all the upgrades, etc. And I would say that this kind of a reload difference on top of having more guns is a really big deal. Sure, at long range it actually might not be as different because Siegfried is just more accurate, I think. But when you get closer, you don't have as much trouble landing as many shells. And in those cases, I would say I would rather be in the Yoshino, because she just can bring more shells to bear. Although, I guess the example of hitting this Jean-Bart so far is not very impressive. But I mean, she is angling, and as a Siegfried, you definitely wouldn't be doing anything more than Yoshino is right now. Especially since we don't really want to go in too close, because there is a Missouri and a Seattle on the C cap. We do hold the A cap, so we wouldn't be flanked from that side, but yeah, we really don't want to push too much forward, because the Missouri is going to be a big problem. And I think I actually should go and try to fight the Missouri, because, well, our midway is actually fairly close, and she is showing some broadside to the Missouri. And you just saw some expert torpedo dodging. That was all just as planned. Hoping the Seattle comes around so I can citadel her, but she appears not to want to. Oh, there she is. 6 seconds reload, 5, 4. Can I? No, I don't think so. Yeah, she's gonna be behind the island before. That was unfortunate, but that's okay. Next target is the Missouri. This is an actual battleship, so she can be quite deadly. Now, one other thing that I forgot to mention about the Siegfried is that I wish her torpedo firing angles were better. Like, look at these torpedo firing angles of the Yoshino, they're really good. Also, 20k damage with AP. Only 1 non-penetration, everything else penned. And I hit 8 out of the 9s, this is what I meant with the more guns, etc. stuff. And now the Missouri is actually turning away. That's actually really good, because that means her front turrets cannot be brought to bear on me. Let's see how she reacts to the torpedoes. If she turns away, I can torpedo her again, I think. And if she keeps turning, all of her guns will be turned the wrong way then. Well, she doesn't have much HP left, so HE is actually pretty good now, because we can just hit her stern and she'll just go down soon. And goodbye, Missouri. That salvo did hurt, the last from the rear turret, but I think if I had been in a Siegfried here, or some tier 10 equivalent, think that would not have gone anywhere near as well. Although I do think that if I had been in an Azuma, it wouldn't have gone that well either. Anyway, Seattle is next. She is a cruiser. Waiting to be able to lead enough so that I don't hit the rocks. Wow. Wow. I actually hit all 6 of my 6 shells. And I bounced all 6 of my 6 shells. That's unfortunate. But it happens. Hey, the damage is pretty decent, I would say. And even the secondaries have set afire. That's pretty amazing. So, I don't think the Seattle is doing much at this point. 10 more seconds? She doesn't have secondaries, I believe, so I don't think I'm going to be decapped unless she explicitly tries to aim at me, which for some reason she isn't. I suppose she's afraid that if she tries to bring all of her guns to bear on me, I'm going to just citadel her and sink her in a salvo. So her current angle is good in that sense. I wanted to take a shot on the Minotaur, but I don't think I can unless I can get around the island, which I suppose I'll eventually do. And goodbye, Seattle. Okay, oh, by the way, if you didn't notice, this isn't actually a full match. This is 9 versus 9. It's almost like playing ranked of some kind. But we do hold all 3 cap zones. Our midway is dealing with a Fletcher with torpedo bombers for some reason. I suppose maybe the midway is out of rocket planes. Why not use dive bombers? I really doubt she's out of dive bombers as well. The enemy midway is coming to strike our Benson. I wonder if she was actually aiming at me at first, but then decided against it. But it seems when I launched the fighter, but it seems my defensive fire is pretty effective. Oh wait, no, I didn't actually use defensive fire, never mind. Wow, I'm such a cheapskate. Not even defending my own Benson, but goodbye Minotaur, I think, right? Yeah. 3 citadels, easy. And now it's a 4 against 3, with the enemy Fletcher dealing with our midway. It could actually go pretty poorly if for some reason the Fletcher is able to sink the midway, and the Fletcher survives. This could easily go their way, because we'd only be we wouldn't have a CV. They would just have to contest the caps and then just wait for the enemy CV to take us apart, because there's 10 minutes to go. But if our midway doesn't go down, then this will be an easy victory. So it all pretty much depends on the midway. Although, of course, if our midway does go down, that doesn't mean the enemy has won. It just means that there's a chance that they might win. Midway is coming again. I really wonder why I'm not using defensive fire at this moment. I guess I don't really care about the rocket planes. Which makes sense. What I should be really afraid of are dive bombers, because they hit harder. So it's a Yoshino. She actually has more HP than I do, so in a straight up HE fight, pretty sure she would win, but she fired AP, so it's good. It won't be quite as far behind, but we are advancing on the position of the enemy midway, so it'll be fairly easy for her to strike us. Wow, that Fletcher is still alive. Jesus, at least the Des Moines is going back and trying to help, so that should help us quite a bit. But unless the enemy team does something soon, we might be too far ahead in points for them to be able to pull this back. Let's launch some blind 20-kilometer torpedoes, because you never know. Maybe just random maneuvering gets them onto the path. Oh, and another nice thing about the Yoshino is that she has 2x4 launchers on each side. So you could actually launch 16 20-kilometer torpedoes, but you would have to swivel for that, so that's not quite as easy to do. Okay, there's the Yoshino. She's firing. AP again. There are Yoshino's torpedoes. There are also the CV torpedoes. I would say that they did not have very good coordination here with the torps because... Oh, I'm gonna take one of these actually. But I guess it's fine. It's not like the midway torps hit hard. 3k damage from the bow. Yeah. Color me unimpressed. I'm also trying to use AP, but it seems that it's not working very well. I suppose one other defensive measure is that if the CV comes and strikes again, the Yoshino might actually shoot the Benson instead of me, so that should buy me some HP. The question at this point is, do I try to hit the midway, or do I try to hit the Yoshino? Right now I'm deciding I go on the Yoshino, because she seems to be a slightly better or easier target. I think Benson... No, never mind. I thought Benson was torping, but nope, it was the midway strike from behind. They do not have a good chance of catching up. Here are the dive bombers. And for some reason I'm still not using defensive fire. I don't understand why. Maybe I thought I had Hydro or something. In fact, actually no. I don't know what I did with the consumable thing. It's definitely not bugged out or anything in the replay because I'm not casting from replay. I recorded this while playing, so I guess I just didn't use defensive fire. Anyway, the game's pretty much over. They don't have a chance of winning this match anymore. But here you could see what the Yoshino is capable of in a decent-ish game. I would say that if I had imagined myself as a Siegfried in the same game, I think I would have had a much harder time doing the things I did. Oh wow, I actually used defensive fire! Wow! Can we all please clap for me finding the T button? I would clap myself here as well, but I don't know how the microphone picks that up. Well, I suppose it did take a while for the CV to come with the dive bomber, so perhaps I saved it for that. Anyway, I really like the Yoshino. Yoshino is quite a bit of fun. I wouldn't say that she's as good as Zhao though. I think Zhao fulfills a few more roles that Yoshino just doesn't do as well, one being concealment. And so I actually think the Zhao is a stronger ship, but Yoshino is fun to play, especially in randoms. And I did 153k damage, sank 3 ships, did a bunch of citadels, shot down 40 planes, 2279 base XP. In a 9 versus 9, 153k damage is really good. Oh, and I got High Caliber and Dreadnought. Took 75k damage. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, Haladian. And I hope I'll see you guys next time.